Hi guys, I'm Little Asian Guy. Today I want to do a demonstration for Gaggia Classic. I'm going to make a cappuccino or latte in this 6-ounce mug, this 6-ounce cup. Um, so I'm gonna go through how I make my cappuccino for my everyday morning routine. It may not be the same, it may not be the perfect way to do it, but it's just like my way to do it. So I a little bit description of the machine. I go from DeLonghi EC155 to this machine. I really like it. Two way I like it is one way is you have a 58 commercial size portafilter, and versus the one on DeLonghi is a smaller size. So you will have a more bigger, like larger extractions, and you have a three-way solenoid valve, so you can take out your portafilter immediately after your extractions, and the coffee bean you don't have to wait. Versus the DeLonghi EC155, you have to kind of wait a bit to let the pressure out. So the first thing I would do usually is I put 1 cup of water inside a reservoir. Well, actually, it's not like every time I would put it in, but I would check the water level first to make sure I have enough water. So now I have enough water, and then I kind of cheat a little bit because I don't want you guys to watch me grind for 45 seconds. So I grind it ahead for the coffee beans. Excuse me, for the coffee grinds. And to be honest with you guys, I don't use this machine anymore, and I'm actually planning to sell it. I just put it up to do a demonstration video for you guys. That's why I do it like in this like awkward. You see my kitchen is on my left, and then my living room. I kind of do it in the middle size of somewhere. You know, I kind of want a place to do something like this to just show you guys this is a really good machine. So I take off the portafilter. I preheat it for 15 minutes or more, and then I kind of clean it because you will have some condensation in the portafilter, so you kind of wipe it off, and then I put my funnel, my handmade funnel. I like DIY, and you know, like I try to make all the stuff that I make, try to make them nice, but at the same time I try to make it simple and useful. So try to put them. So put all the grinds, and then give it a little tap. So I don't have a lot of grinds here. Seems like I have a little bit like less than I should have, but that's a good thing. I don't want to waste any coffee grind. So for tamping, a lot of people really emphasize like how important your tamping, like the pressure. Some people even use the bathroom scale and then put your portafilter in and do the tamping. To be honest with you guys, I did it once or twice. It looks really dumb, and the whole thing is just really dumb. And then I find out, or later you will find out, it's not so important as like how much pressure you use. It's just the consistency. You have to be consistent. Like some people like to grind their coffee finer and then use a lighter tamp. Some people like it, push it really hard on like 30 pounds of pressure. it's just a preference, but as long as you do it every time the same pressure, the same way, I would say it this way: the tamping pressure is not as important as you have an even surface. So when you tamp it, make sure your pot is level. That's what important. You will want to have a level surface. Otherwise, the water will go to the downside of it. And also for tamping, like I have some loose grind on the side. Like of course, you want to make sure when you tamp it, like all the surface is at it's tamped pretty tight. But also, like some people will see their grind like stuck to the side, so they knock the portafilter. That's not good. I tried it, like knock it, and then I retamped it. But I think that's not as good as if you just tamp it once and just leave the loose grind alone. Just don't care about it. Or you can like flip it over, and then some of them will fall on your knock box. So, okay, let's. Usually the first thing I do whenever I ready everything, I got it ready, I let some water run through until the lights goes off, and that is to flush out all the cold water, not cold, like not hot enough water. So like right now. So, and also the hot water will warm your cup. So I have my hot water here. I try to not spill any water out. So I take that out in case I thought that is my milk later on. So, and then when the lights go on, that means you're ready. So line up the dots, lock it. Don't have to go super crazy on this. Just make sure it's tight enough. You don't have to like crank all the way, like try to use your body force. Just let the seal do its work. So it's time to brew. I don't have my timer. I will try to get my timer. Okay, so I usually have my timer stick here. Okay, let's start. Whenever you have your first drip, try to let you guys see it. It's a little bit too fast, honestly. So I will stop at 20 seconds. So okay, it's a little bit like too fast. It's not a little bit, it's actually very fast. So the trick for steaming meal on this Gaggia Classic is it has a, I take this apart when I clean it, when I first got it, I clean it, and then I realized it has a very, very small boiler. It's just, I think it's just about the same as the EC155, maybe a little bit larger, but it's still small. Oh, another thing I like this machine is you have a three-way solenoid valve. I don't have the tube. The tube is missing, so I use the straw. It happens to be the same diameter, so I just use it. So compared to my last machine, I have a EC155. That machine doesn't have a three-way solenoid valve, so you have to wait until the pressure come out, and then you can unscrew your portafilter. Otherwise, you will have a coffee explosion. But this one doesn't happen like that. So I flush out all the coffee bean. I just keep my portafilter here. I don't usually do that, but I have no way to put my portafilter. So steam some milk. The way I like to do this, oh excuse me, you switch it to your steam mode, and then the trick for this is you don't wait until the light comes on, because by the time the light comes on, your heating element is turned off. So you want to do it in the middle stage. So which is like you have a little bit more pressure build up, but not all the way until the heating element shut down. So which is about right now, I believe. And then you purge it, and then you insert it, you open it, injecting air. You want to make it circulate. I apologize if you can't really see. So you're gonna warm it until you get to 160, 150, 160. That is about right temperature. You're gonna know what is the correct temperature once you do it maybe 10 or more times. And the first few times you're gonna do it with a thermometer just to make sure you're at the right temperature. Because before I use thermometer, I always do it like too hot. So you have, I hope you can see it. We have some microfoam. Try to don't knock it like so many times. Maybe just cover it, knock it really hard once. Or if you don't see any bubble, don't knock on it. So okay. Let me get some more lights. So try to make a latte art or embarrass myself. So okay, I'll do it hard. Let's do it hard. It's like a heart in a heart. So this is my cappuccino. That's how I do it. I know it takes like a little bit longer than I expected. I apologize for I talk too much, but I do want to include everything about this machine, like in case you want to get one. I do think that if you try to get into this habit, this is a very good starting point, but not as good as the EC155 because of the price. But if you have the money, if you want the convenience, I would recommend you to get this one. And also, don't forget to get a good grinder. This is why I get a hand grinder, because I don't have the $500 to get a really good grinder, and I want good grinder, so I get a hand grinder. Yes, one thing I forgot to mention is whenever you're done with your steaming, so let's say I'm steam. So imagine after you steam, all your water vapor is out. So your boiler is basically kind of empty right now. You don't have any water or just very little water in it. So after you steam, you will want to temperature serve your machine, which is like, so after I steam, and then I take out this, and then what I would do is I usually put another pitcher underneath here, and then I'm sorry, I'll put another pitcher, not the milk, the one with the milk, a empty pitcher underneath this, and then I will turn on the pump. I will turn on the steam knob, the steam one, and then turn on the pump, and then you will see some steam coming out until you see some water coming out, like right now. And then now you know that you can turn off your one and turn off your machine. So that tells you your boiler is filling up with water right now. So and then you don't forget to turn off your steaming mode back to the brewing mode, and then you can turn off your machine. You're doing that so you have some water inside your boiler. It's not good to just leave your boiler empty without any water. So yeah, that's a little tip for if you want to keep the machine running for so many years, I think that's one little trick that I use every time after I steam. The reason I forgot to do it in the video earlier is because I haven't used this for a while, like I said. So I apologize guys if I make this video a little bit longer again, but I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you enjoy your coffee. Bye.